Hey YouTube, yeah, I'm due a washing. I'm wearing my Rush Hemispheres t-shirt, which all people always comment on, and I always feel like a bit of a fraud because I'm not a proper Rush fan. I do dig this album; it's awesome. My pal Wayne bought me this, and I have been to a Rush convention. Really just went for the drinking. Also talked to the Pete Brown, the sort of the fourth member of Rush, the sort of the producer engineer guy, and my pal Wayne told him right to his face that I didn't like Rush because it made me feel sick, and the guy nearly spat his drink out. He was absolutely gutting himself laughing. I was mortified because obviously at a Rush convention you're generally folk coming up going, "Oh, up your love, X song off whatever album," and all this stuff, and then you get somebody actually telling us that up your love. My pal doesn't like Rush because he says it makes him feel sick. So that was quite amusing. Anyway, so this is an Ibanez. I did a review of one of these. It's a GAX75. I did a review of one of these 6 months, a year ago, something like that. The same guy had a white one. And I think I fitted a Seymour Duncan in it. This one, I think is a higher. It might have been a GX. I can't remember. Is it a 50 or a 30 or something like that? This one's a slightly higher spec one, I think. Also, it's got a detuner, which is like a lever here. So just now that this whole guitar is it's tuned to E flat, so it's standard tuning but down half a step. And if you knock this thing this way, quite stiff, bang, that lowers. You can adjust using this screw what it lowers to, and so I've got it going from D sharp down to C sharp, so you get this sort of drop D, but with the whole guitar tuned to E flat, so it's drop C sharp, I suppose you would probably call it. I had fun with I was having a jam the other week there. Lovely guy, and he was tuned to E flat, and I was playing the bass, and I didn't tune to E flat, which made things really interesting because all the songs he played were sort of, pretty sort of standard chord shapes. It's kind of A's and D's and stuff like that. So everyone I was playing, it was like I'd lost all the open strings because I was playing a fret down from what he was, and I made it hard on myself. I should just have tuned the bass to E flat at the start, and then. What's this song? ADE, no problem. But did it anyway. I think people do it generally for singing. I think it's more for the singer. If you lower it half a step, it just makes it a bit easier to hit high notes. Don't know. Right, so playing through Relay that speaker cabinet and nothing. There's pedals and stuff, but none of them are on. So all stock as far as I can tell. Bolt on neck. Serial number probably tell you the year. I02, I would say I would be Indonesia, says made in Indonesia, and 02 would be 2002, so coming up for vintage. A couple of years this will be a vintage guitar. Shape wise, it's kind of, I had a Yamaha SG. I just gave it back to the guy the night before, and maybe not miles away from a Yamaha SG, and again not miles away from the Washburn Wings, similar sort of thing, a little bit pointier. It's not really. I would say it was too pointed to be a Les Paul double cut, really. But anyway, it's a nice size, and it's obviously more. Yeah, if you're buying, I think these are sort of relatively cheap. Ibanez models. This is obviously more of a Gibson-y SGA Les Paul thing as opposed to like the RG or the S series, which would be more Stratty sort of thing. So it's got a very cool looking. Actually, I really like the wraparound tailpiece. Obviously, this string's not wrapped around; it's just running over it. But it's got intonation saddles with the Allen keys on it, which is nice. And I do like these. I've got a couple of guitars that I've got like wraparound tailpieces, and they just seem to sustain better. So I'm interested to see if this one does. It probably won't hold tune. I've literally just put the strings on it and set it up, and not actually given it really any play yet. So sounds are just as I find them just now. Maybe not quite tuned. It's weird having it tuned to F sharp rather than tuned to what I would normally expect. quite high output pickups on it. Bridge pickup. Both. I think when you're playing clean with humbuckers, the middle position is normally the best sound. I always feel that when I'm playing with distortion, I'd never use both pickups on at the same time. It's always bridge or neck. Whereas in middle position, in the clean, it gives it more of a single coily. It makes it a bit more jangly when you get both of them on, maybe. Wee bit of distortion. I really can't play using drop D, so I'm going to do it anyway to see if it works. Yeah, good job. Oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to try. about with a bit of D, see if you get some grip up. Yeah, so that's what I did. What I did first, having a sort of a detuner. I think we were a bit clever and practice a little bit at it. You could maybe use that to a little bit better effects for extra. I'm actually wondering if you can get a bass version, don't you? I'm now sitting here thinking that this could be quite handy if I could put one of this sort of thing to my bass for the Sabbath band. That would give me the extra note. You know, for the ones that are tuned down, I could maybe just set it to a different one and only use it for the note when I need it. Because there are a few songs that kind of, but the ones that are down tuned, there's really only one part of one of the riffs or one of the songs that needs the extra low note. You know, so I'm alright. All the other notes are there. It's just that this one basically. Oh, in this case, it gives you an extra 2 notes. It gives you a low. Well, in this case again, it gives you a C sharp and a D, because the guitar's in D sharp. It also goes lower than this. I think you can knock it down. Well, you can get at least another note or 2 out it. I should probably actually have a wee. Before I turn this video off, we'll see just how low I can get it to go. So that's it up. That's it. Well, it's not holding tune brilliantly, so I just put these strings on. I haven't actually played it yet. So that's it sitting at D sharp, right? Still in tune. So if I lower it down, that says C sharp, which is a wee bit of adjustment. You just adjust it with a screwdriver in this back bit. So try again. Right, D sharp is fine. Put it down. G sharp is a little bit flat, so I can just tighten it up. So that's it now, and now showing C sharp, and then when you pull it up, it just stays. It's back to D. It stays the same because you've not touched the tuner. But just to say how low it goes. So I don't know how low I can get these strings to go. They are light top, heavy bottom, or heavy bottom, light top, or whatever they are. And it's like a 10 to 52s. So they should probably go a little bit lower than normal. So that's us sitting at C sharp. It's handling it no problem. You can put it down to C sharp. So that's us down 2 steps. Oh, there we go. Okay. Whoa. My tuner's not picking this up, unfortunately. Might be C sharp. Crikey. Right, so there it's C sharp. And we can put it down to... Right, it's taking C, absolutely no bother. So we do down 3 steps, no bother. My tuner's not liking it. It's still going. It does B. A sharp. You could really knock this down here. We're going down to A. So that's down from a D sharp to an A. So that's like 5 steps. And I think it's still got some play in it. So there's plenty of room for making it drop an awful lot more than two notes. Back up to C sharp. But definitely, there's a certain way of playing there, to playing chords using the drop D. Maybe I will actually and have a go at trying to play something in drop D. There must be. I mean, I can kind of hear it there being quite good for sort of those sort of. That's things that you can't really do in normal tunes. You know, it gives you your 1-finger power chords. Yeah, so this guitar, I like the other one as well. The white one was good, whatever model that was. If you look up the videos, you'll see that there's a one that's basically the same as this but white that doesn't have this detuner on it. Actually, my pal who I got that Yamaha, who owns that Yamaha SG I had, says he's got one of these sitting in his parts box that he'd been meaning to give me. So one of these might be on a Buckfaster caster coming soon. It's just a pretty simple thing. It appears to be held on with 2 screws. I don't even think it needs to be routed into the body. Maybe it does. But interesting. Obviously, my immediate thinking is, assuming these things aren't expensive, I don't know, but if you had a set of 6 of them, you could, as long as whatever your alternate tuning was, because it goes down like 5 or 6 notes, so that's going to get you all your dadgad and, you know, actually at the weekend there I was in as a one-off playing with my pals, got a Led Zeppelin tribute band, and I was just playing guitar. They asked me to join us. I'm not enough of a Led Zeppelin fan, so I basically listened to Led Zeppelin 2 and took my guitar down and just played along with it. They were talking about doing Kashmir, and it's like dadgad. So basically, all dadgad does is knock down the first 2 strings to D, doesn't it? D, A, D, G, and it knocks you knock a half note off. So with 3 of them, you could knock it into dadgad. This one just the same, knocks it down to D. Same with the high E string, and then you're knocking the B down half a step. The screw, as I was saying there, when I was undoing it, and it was going down 5 steps. You can also put it up, so it's only going down like 1 step. So you could do the B to A sharp. There's no A sharp. B to A. You could do that with the other one. So if you had 3 of these, you could have instant dadgad just by flipping 3 levers. Dunk. Which is an awful lot more an awful lot cheaper than one of those Gibson robot tuner things, which lots of people slag off. But actually, I had a shot of a guitar. It was a 2015 SG standard, and I was really impressed with them. They worked really well. It was a little bit. I don't think they were on the right guitar. I think they should have put those tuner things on like an Epiphone, or like not a super budget beginner's model, but a sort of £250 guitar is what they should have been on. If you're spending £1,000 on a guitar, the purity in you is going to want to know how to tune properly. I suppose another danger with having the automatic tuner is, are you ever going to actually learn how to tune if the automatic tuner battery runs out or something like that? Or if you're playing another guitar that doesn't have it on it, if all you have to do is just go up, press a button, and it just goes bzz, 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 tunes up, and then press the button again to turn it off, and then you're in. Are you ever actually going to learn how to do it the hard way? I was talking about this the other day about tuning by ear, where you hold the fifth fret and then tune the next string to it, doing it that way, which since you get, you just get tuners all over the place. And even the apps you get for your phone are brilliant. It's like once you're in tune, you're in tune. When I started, I didn't even know there was a standard tuning. I thought every band just put the strings at whatever tension they liked, and then called that A. I didn't realise there actually was like a concert pitch. For a couple of years playing, I'm talking about being in a band before I realised that you could actually buy a tuner pedal that actually just tunes your guitar. So neck wise, quite Gibson SG-ish, Gibson neck. Scale wise, it's going to be, I'm going to guess that it's a 24 3/4 inch scale, but I have not measured it, so I will now know whether it is, and it is this might be a strange scale. No, it's 24 3/4. Yeah, it's 24 3/4. Now I was looking at it, and just because of the way the tape was going, the takeoff points on this bridge are right. They're not in the middle of the bridge, which would have been like 25. The takeoff points are in a bit, which might actually give problems with using this sort of bridge on a not this type of guitar. If you stuck that on like a Les Paul or something, you said you were going to replace the Tunematic with this, I think you'd find that these saddles, which don't go, the saddles on one of these generally tends to be sort of in the middle of the axis between the two studs. You'd expect the saddles to be there on a Tunematic sort of thing, but they're actually here, so they're 5mm in this direction. So I think there might not be. I'd maybe be worried if you were thinking of buying one of these to stick it on another guitar. You'd maybe have to move the posts back. There are Allen bolts here to put them on like spindles, so you probably get a wee bit of play in it to try and work it back. It's not. I don't think this wouldn't be a straight swap in the guitar that's not hanging up there anymore, which was what's one I've got? The Eastwood Monolith has a solid one piece wraparound, and it's awesome. I don't think I've got any other guitars that I've got it, not to memory anyway. But pickups seem good. 2 volumes and 2 tones. I wonder if maybe the other one I had, the slightly cheaper one, maybe only had 1 volume and 1 tone. To be totally honest, that wouldn't make any difference to me if I had 2 volumes and 2 tones. I'm quite happy just having one and one, and then a 3-way switch. But the 2 gives you that sort of in the middle, when you're messing about with, you can have a bit of tone on the neck pickup and then have it maybe at 3/4, and then have the bridge pickup down at half, and then have, to get all sort of complex tones. I'm not really I'm not that tuned to. I just like having things on. I quite like having a coil split, which I might actually end up putting in this at some point, depending on how the owner gets on. Well, he is in an Anthrax band, so I don't think coil splitting is really what he's after. They're called Aranthrax if you want to look them up on Facebook somewhere. I keep forgetting to put the links in that I say. I might put a link if I remember down there to. I assume they'll have a Facebook page, but I assume they've got a YouTube. I'm not really sure. But they'll just be like everyone else just now, as in, not done anything for the last months. I'm talking to the guy and he's like totally dying to get back into the studio just to play, because like everyone else, are going to be pure shite the first half hour. You're just sitting there, it's so loud, I can't remember how to do this, what's going on, what are these songs? I had that a couple of weeks ago playing with down at my pal's barn. It was like the first 10 minutes, it's just like, oh my god, it's so noisy, what's going on? I'm playing standing up. Oh god, I've been standing up for like an hour, my hands hurt, what's going on? So all that to come. Yeah, so good guitar. Apparently they don't make them anymore. And the detuner thing, it seems to be pretty good. I like it. I like its ignorability factor. Like, you could have this guitar and only ever once every you know, 100 songs you want to drop tune, it's worth having it there because it doesn't get in the way, and it just looks like something a little bit interesting as well. It's maybe not the prettiest thing, but you kind of see that it's a detuner from miles away. Rockin'. Catch y'all later.